Gemini secrets you should know, part 3.
John Kennedy asked Ilhan Omar one question.
Uh-oh. No. All right, give me a minute and get this ball rolling.
This is my free water from Eric.
Almost. Come on. Right there, there, and right there. All righty, we are ready to roll. All right, so we are streaming on, and that's not on. Okay, who do we have today? Today, garbage. Ayoleola. Okay, Friday. Mayo, Aquarius, Esteban. Bam. Haha, bam. Morning Joe, Mike. Len's in the house. How's your weekend? Wonderful. Marchin, Denise, Angel, Stazer. What's happening, Stazer? I am Legend. Back again. Woohoo! Saul's in the house. Goop Loop. Okay, Giovanni's here. Utilico. Rob, Kaikane, is that right? Psycane? It's like BC. Tingieri. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader. Club Med Tom, what's happening? Okay, so I'm here looking for a simple, safe, predictable way to invest for weekly cash flow. Now, the trading strategy, oh, look, we have down here. Tom's in the house. Greg's in the house. Up, down, what's going on? Jerome, good evening. Giovanni wants to take a look at Harley-Davidson. Well, let's take a gander at that old beast. Brody, good evening. All right, what's Harley-Davidson doing? I know we're looking for a new bottom for Harley-Davidson, but has it showed up yet? Well, let's find out. All right. Every time I look at the stock, I'm looking for 5 things. 5 things are easy to see, especially on the 1-year chart. 5 things. Ready? Here we go. Number 1, the high. Number 2, the low. Number 3, where was it a year ago? Number 4, where is it now? And number 5, what's the motion of the ocean? Down, up, sideways, up, down. We're actually looking for a new bottom right here. Unfortunately, it's not here yet, but it looks like it could have been Friday. Look what happened on Friday. We got a lower low and a lower high. Basically just counting down, looking for the bottom. It's at 2035 at the moment if you're interested in trying to find the bottom for Harley-Davidson. Now, I'm not very good at finding the bottom, so I don't even try anymore, but there it is right there, the bottom of the year for Harley-Davidson. Now, you're going to make most of your money in the stock market buying low and selling high. Well, the company's over 100 years old, and you can't get any lower than the low of the year. So let's see what a low of the low actually looks like if we were going to throw this and see if it actually works. Tom, what's going on? Barry, good evening. Foreign Kate, how's my portfolio? My portfolio is lovely. It's a little bit down, but the income keeps coming in, and that's my objective. My objective is to have the income coming in. I really don't pay too much attention to, the dollar value. Okay, I'm looking for X amount on a weekly basis, because once I dump my money in, well, then I know what my starting point is. Kenneth, I want a warm front, no low of the low. Sorry, Kenneth. Cash is trash. Kenneth, I'm gonna take your word for it. This guy's a hedge fund manager from Wish. Blake, I'm not 100% sure what that means, but okay. All right, so here's the bottom here. Now, if I'm going to do a covered call on Harley-Davidson, because it's simple and it's safe, I like simple and safe, that's easy. It's currently at 1980. Now, the 1980 strike price, the closest one, is going to be either the 20 or the 1950. So you can take your choice. Me personally, I take the 1950 because it's a safer trade. And I'm more for safety than I am for profitability. What do we got over here? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. Thank you there, Blake, Russman, Boy Frog, what's going on? And no days off. Valorams. Bobby, what's happening in there? Eddie Campos, what's going on? Blake, you don't know what a hedge fund manager is, and you've giving financial advice. See, the funny thing is, Blake, is I'm not giving financial advice. I'm pointing out the obvious. I'm pointing out that the current price of this stock is 1980. That's not a financial advice, Mr. Blake. That's it as an observation that a 3-year-old could give you. What's the current price? Oh, wait a second, it's right there. That's what it is. And a 5-year-old can tell you, oh, here's the high right there, here's the low right there. None of that constitutes financial advice. And what else? 30 days ago, it was here. It dropped, it went up, and then it dropped back down again. It's not financial advice, my friend. It is clearly an observation. Financial advice would be saying, hey, I think this is a good one. You should buy it. That is financial advice. And no, I do not give financial advice. So please, do a little bit of research before you cast dispersions, my friend. Let's get back to it. So then what's the takeaway I should infer from what you're showing me? Blake, what you should be inferring is, number one, is Harley-Davidson over 100 years old? Yes, it is. Is Harley-Davidson at the low of the year? Yes, it is. Is it looking for a bottom to turn around and go back up again? Yes, it is. And next, what is a simple, safe trading strategies if you like this company? Only if you like it. Because I got 5 simple rules on anything that I personally buy. And no, I don't give advice, and no, I don't give tips. I always encourage people to do your own research. We're all adults. We are responsible for our own decisions. No, I do not give advice, and I do give tips. Here's a good tip and a little bit of advice. You ready? When you're driving home tonight, make sure you do not stick your head out too far. It might go home in another car. It's about all the advice I give, Blake. Besides the fact, if you're going to get into investing, paper trade first. Practice, practice, practice. Never put money at risk unless you know what it is you're doing. And if you're going to play in the investing game, always beware that there are opportunities where you could lose your money if you don't think it through properly. Sure, that's fair, but Harley-Davidson stock isn't decided solely based on consumers. Blake, I'm well aware of that. Okay, let's not confuse things. We're looking at facts. They could lose a partnership or flagship location, and that may hurt them way worse than consumers. Yeah, Blake, I understand all that. Yet it doesn't change the facts of what I'm saying. The company's over 100 years old. It is at an all-time, it's a low of the year. Within the last 52 weeks, Friday is the absolute low. So how do you make money in the stock market? You buy low and you sell high. Okay, you can't get any lower than that. And if I was going to do it, okay, we're going to pause this right here. Hold on a second. If I was going to do it, I would do the 1950s. Because for me, it is safer. And I'm more for safety than I am for profitability. Because I got 2 criteria: consistency of cash flow and preservation of my capital. Okay? So, let's continue. If I were to buy it tomorrow morning at this current price, And if I was going to do a covered call, which is simple, safe, predictable, and consistent, that's the only trades I like. Simple, safe, predictable, and consistent. Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for safety, I'm looking for profitability, and I want my nest egg not be at risk. That's it. Okay, so let's do a covered call, see what it looks like, and then ask yourself, does it make sense? All right, so let's get out of here. We're going to change this right here from single to covered call, because out of all the trading strategies there are, this one is one of the safest, and you can do covered calls in your IRA. Okay, so here we go. Current price, 1980. So I'm going to do the 1950s. Let's see what it looks like. And the 1950s is right there. Right, 1950. Come over here, right where it says buy. There we go. Now I'm going to change it from 10 all the way down to 1. I don't want to scare anyone away with any big numbers. All right, here's what it sounds like. I always tell anyone, before you buy anything, read it, look at it, say it out loud. Read it out loud to make sure it sounds right. You ready? Buy one, covered call, Harley-Davidson. 6 February 26. That means the option is going to expire this coming Friday. So whoever buys it has to figure out what they want to do by 3:59 p.m. Friday afternoon. Because at 4 p.m., they're basically SOL. All right. 6 February 26th is Friday, the $19.50 call option. That means whatever I pay for it, I'm going to sell it for $19.50. And the reason I do that is because I want to collect this right there. That looks horrible. I don't think we're going to do that one, but let's check the numbers. Okay, to check the numbers, you take the profit. Remember why I said predictable? I know exactly what my profit, or pretty much exactly what my profit's going to be before I even do this trade. Because what I'm looking for, simple, safe, predictable, and consistent. Well, we already know it's simple trade. Okay, covered calls, one of the easiest trades there are. Who do we got? Dabu Hearn, good evening. And Sketch5, how are you? Dev, good evening. All righty, all right. Dev, good evening down there. Dev, you're on 2 different channels, brother. What's happening? All right, so let's check it out. We're going to take the profit, we're going to divide it by the investment and see what the rate of return. Now, we're looking at something totally different. We're not looking for annual returns, and we're not looking for quarterly returns. We're looking for a weekly return. Because I don't know about you, I was born in the 60s and grew up in the 70s. We went to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we got paid Friday afternoon. So I want the same with my investments. I want to invest on Monday. I would like to be out by Friday and have my profit. Let's see what this looks like. So we need the calculator. And first thing we're going to do is take the profit, 32, over in the calculator. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. And then we're going to divide it by the investment, 1918, to get our rate of return. Okay, divided by 1918. And that comes to a grand total of 1.6. Yeah, 1.6% for 1 week. Only if you actually like Harley-Davidson. I mean, remember rule number 1? Never buy something you don't want to hold long term. So if you don't know it, you don't understand it, you don't know what they're doing, if you're not okay with putting your money into it, don't buy it. It just doesn't make any sense. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the game. And yes, it is a game for adults. There are adult consequences. You could lose money if you don't do it right. Most beginners lose money by hitting the wrong button. It sounds so silly, but it's an actual fact. Most beginners lose the most money by hitting the wrong button. So read it out loud, make sure it makes sense. So this one here, 1.6%. We're going to save that one because I like 1.6%. I like Harley-Davidson. I actually already have some Harley-Davidson, but that's besides the point. All right. Come on. Let's open it up so you guys can read it a little bit better. There it is. Here we go. Righty, right there. By one covered call, Harley-Davidson, HOG, 6 February 26. That means it's for this week. Now, we can do it for next week if we wanted to, but I'm looking for weekly cash flow. You got to decide when you start investing, what is it that you want from your investing journey? And find a strategy that works for you. Something that makes sense, something that's profitable, something that's safe. All right. 1950 call option. So I'm going to buy it whatever price, 1980, okay? Selling it for 1950. Yeah, I'm losing 30 cents right off the top, but I'm still walking away with 1.6% for the week. And after all, that's what I'm looking for, a safe trade. So if I buy it at 1980, sell it at 1950, and I still walk away with 1.6% profit for 1 week, well, I've reached my goal. That's what my goal is. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. That's my goal. Okay, you guys got to figure out what your goal is, and you got to figure out what makes sense to you. Okay, so that's Harley-Davidson. What do we have next? Oh, wait a second. Profits 32, the investment's 1918. Now, you can look at it any way you want. The way I look at it is I am creating a weekly cash-producing asset. That means an asset that gives me money every single week, regardless what happens. And that's why I like weekly options, because they're available every single week. So let's go on to the next one. All right, let's get this one out of here. Ah, damn it. I hate it when it does that. But it does it every once in a while. All right, so let's get the ball rolling. What other questions do we have here? Oh, Dev's here. Blake, yep, I got that one, Blake. Jonathan, how are you, Mr. Jonathan? Don't. Blake, sure, that's fair, but Harley-Davidson stock is, yeah, I got that one. I got that one too. Raphael wants to take a look at APP. APP 1.8. No, it was 1.6, wasn't it? 1.6. There we go. All right, so Raphael wants to take a look at APP. What the heck is APP? Let's get back to where we were, back to the beginning. Right here, and let's look at APP. Ouch. Ouch. Now, normally I like to stay away from stocks over 300 bucks. This one is 473. Brody, do you do any options or futures? Brody, yes, I do options. Thank you, Brody. Freckled Queen, good evening. Fighting Falcon, what's happening? Jim Wright, what's happening? Oh, Jelly. Oh, Jelly. David, good evening. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Wolf, Cousin Astra, what's happening? Uh-oh, Twisted Pasta's in the house. All right, hold on. We're going to stop this right about here so we can see some of these questions. All right, we're going to save it right about there. Rusty wants to look at Ford. We'll take a look at Ford in a minute. Raphael, I try to stay away from stocks over 400 bucks. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if that's what you like, let's take a gander at it, see what it looks like. All righty. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this big drop right there. Well, I want to know what that big drop is, because at this moment in time, it's basically going to be a no because of that big drop until I find out what it is. So the 5 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds. I'm looking for 5 things. The high, right there. The low, right there. Where it was, right there. Where it is, right there. Look at the motion. Down, up, down. Whoops. Down, up, down, up, down. Okay? Not looking appealing at the moment. Let's zoom in. Why did it drop the way it did? Here's your last 30 days. Okay? She drops, shoots up. Drops again, shoots up. Then on Friday, this happened. Look at the background. Look at these lines in the back here. That's volume. That's how many people trade that stock. How many shares are trading that day. So if it's normally down here around, what is that? Okay, 12 million. Woohoo! If it's normally down here, and then all of a sudden it doubles, that's huge. The volume I'm talking about. What happened? Okay, she was here. Okay, nice run up from 510 to 570. Then she drops all the way down to 460. Why? That's the question you need to find out if you like this company. Well, I don't trade this company. It's a little bit out of my price range. But if you like it, you need to ask yourself that question. All right, what do we have next? Trail Walker, Gambler University. Never heard of it. Jim Framo, IBM. Let's take a look at IBM. We all know who IBM is. Uh-oh, what do we have down here? All right. Why not do ETFs on a daily basis? Why don't you want to do that? Just want to know your reasoning. Uh-oh, who do we have this one? Soon Free 81. Okay, so you want me to change 15 years of a trading strategy that's actually worked for the last 15 years. Well, in 2008, my 9-year-old daughter says, Daddy, can you teach me what you're doing? I said, okay. So to teach a 9-year-old, it had to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, all that stuff. But then, how do you make it simple enough for her to understand and not a huge amount of time in order to learn it? So simple, safe, predictable, consistent, less than 10 minutes, all that had to take into effect. Now, you want me to teach a 9-year-old to trade ETFs on a daily basis. No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Now, the reason why I say that is I'm not a day trader, okay? I'm a lazy trader. And that's a huge difference because some people, do make a lot of money day trading. If that's what you want, you're definitely in the wrong place because I'm retired now. I just turned 62 a couple of weeks ago, which means I'm entitled to Social Security. Good for me. But what do I do with the money that I have? Well, that has got to make me a decent return. Well, if I give it to a money manager or a fund manager or even an investment banker, what are they going to offer me? 3% a year, 5%, 8% a year if I'm lucky? No, I'd rather just do it myself and look for that 1% every single week. Well, because 1% a week works for me, and it's been working for me. So why would I trade it for a job sitting in front of a computer looking at this crap all day? Sorry, I have better ways of spending my time. And money is no longer a motivator for me. As long as I make my 1%, I'm happy. And isn't that what we're all after anyway? Some kind of contentment with our lives? Well, money is only a very small aspect of your life. All it is just one less thing to worry about. Okay? So, yeah, you decide what you want to do with yours. But when you get to this side, when you become retired, you've got two choices and only two. Okay? Do it yourself or give up accountability and let someone else do it for you. And trust me, whoever invests your money for you don't have your best interest in mind most of the time. Now, very rarely do you find someone that, we got noise in the background. Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on. Kevin, how you doing? Tell your girlfriend we said nice job. Thank you. Sorry about that. Some of the guys that are participating live have a tendency to forget that their microphone's on. Anyway, so why not do ETFs on a daily basis? Because I don't want to sit in front of my computer all day. 10, 15 minutes, that's all I want. All right? I am past the point where I'm looking for pennies. Or not even pennies, or even dollars. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever drives you to sit in front of your computer all day long and day trade, that's a you thing. I'm lazy, and I have no problem admitting that. I want to get in. I want a simple, safe, predictable 1% every week, and then I want to get on with my life. Hang out with my grandson, sit in front of my fish tank and just watch the fish swim for hours upon hours. Sorry, I didn't realize that. It's okay, Kevin. It was kind of entertaining. Tell her I said congratulations. Anyway, so we're looking at IBM. So let's take a quick gander at this. Before I say yes or no, I got those 5 pesky little things to look for. The high, the low, where was it, where is it, what's the motion, down, up, down, sideways. Yeah, what's going on here? That don't look very good. Let's zoom in and find out why it don't look very good. Well, there's your answer right there, without even any more research. I don't need to see any more research. You got a gap up, number one. Gaps have a tendency to fill, so that baby's coming down. Number 2, it's at a 30-day high. I don't buy anything at a 30-day high. To me, it just doesn't make sense. I've never once heard someone say, hey, IBM's at an all-time high. Let's buy it and wait and see if it goes higher. Yeah, I've never heard that conversation. Anyway, next. It's a good play, though. Don't get me wrong. If you really like IBM, I mean really like it, wait for it to come back down. Once it comes back down around here near the 30-day low, then maybe it's a good idea to jump back in as she hits the bottom and turns around. If you really like IBM. It's a patience game. I mean, don't be in such a hurry putting your money somewhere. If you like something, make sure you're buying it at the right time. And the right time, the chart usually will tell you. Okay, stocks go up, and guess what? They get to a point where there's profit taking, then it comes back down again. And then it gets to a point where it's so low that people are saying, oh my God, IBM at 290, hell, I'm buying some. Then it goes back up again. It's just, it's like a roller coaster, you know, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's about all it does. All right, next. Let's get some of these questions out of the way. All right, pain trades. Okay, I don't do 1 day to expiration. Okay, I'm not really that excited about making money where I'm willing to give up my day sitting in front of a computer. Sorry. Twisted Pasta. What ticker did we just put up? IBM. Irma, what symbol pays weekly? Oh my goodness, Irma. Okay, you want to know what stocks have a weekly option? CBOE, Chicago Board of Option Exchange. Or you can go right to Google and say, who has weekly options? Or what stocks have weekly options? It gives you the whole list. It's not that difficult. Brian, York, what's happening? Do I like poor man's covered calls? J.O. All right, I do like poor man's covered calls when they work. I don't like them so much when they don't work. Every once in a while, you get bit in the butt from the short one. So, but I'm not teaching that. I'm only teaching one. Oh, user wants to take a look at Advanced Auto Parts. We'll take a look at that in a second. Advanced Auto Parts. Here we go. Check it out. Love it. The high, the low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, up, down, up. Uh-oh. What's happening right there? Looks like we ran out of steam. Look at your last 30 days. 30 days ago, we're at the bottom at 38. We shoot up to 51. 38 to 51 is $13. No, that doesn't register with anyone. $13 on a $38 stock is close to 33%. This baby jumped 33% in 30 days. Well, don't you think that there's going to be profit taking? Well, Thursday she pulled down, Friday she went down, so maybe this is the beginning of the profit taking, the retracement, the correction, the pullback, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it profit taking because when I buy something at 38, it shoots up to 51. You bet I'm getting out because it ain't a profit until you take it. And nobody ever went broke taking profits. It just is what it is. Okay, so soon free 81. I kind of hope that makes sense. All right, I'm only looking for 1% a week, and ETFs. They have monthly options. They don't really have, most of them have monthly options, not weekly, because I don't want to trade on a daily basis. Sorry. Bonbon, what is your best confirmation before entering a trade? 2 days up, wait a minute, 3 days up from a 30-day pullback. Okay? You get your 30-day bottom, shoots up to a 30-day high. Then she's going to drop and eventually come up with a new 30-day bottom before she turns around, goes back up again. Now, I like 2 days to the upside. See, here's your bottom. 1 day, 2 day. On the third day, I'd get in. And then I'd take that ride for however long it went or until I hit my target, whichever came first. I'm not greedy. I have no problem whatsoever taking 1%. See right here? If I jumped in at, let's say, 44, because, right there, 44. I'm not going to say the bottom. I'm not, no. Okay, if I jumped in here and she goes up, if I take 1%, which is only 40 cents on a $40 stock, okay, and she keeps going, oh, good for whoever bought that. I like to share the profits. You help enough other people get their profits, and you'll get plenty. Okay, there's plenty to go around. Let's keep on going. I bought some tea last week. That is a good play going into this week. Well, let's check it out, Josh. Tea. Well, it depends. Okay, because I saw that chart. It's like, whoa, it depends. Let's check it out. You ready? The high, the low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, whoops, up, down. Now she shot it like a rocket. Let's zoom into that and see what happened there. Because yeah, I bought some AT&T also last week. Did I know this was going to happen? No, I didn't know that was going to happen. But okay. Anyway, we hit a bottom of the year right there. Now she shot up like a rocket. I wouldn't be jumping into it now because I already jumped into it. I forget where, somewhere in this area here. But she shot up. And I sold somebody the rights to buy it from me at 23. So I don't get all of this. I get, like this much right there. But that's all I'm looking for. But I'm looking for it not once in a while. I'm looking for it every single week. Because 1% every single week is over 50% per year. That's my goal. You guys are going to figure out what works for you. Let's keep on going. Dr. Dev, I tried to sign into a couple of channels. I hope you don't mind. Don't mind at all. Utilico, good for you. Keep asking questions, brother. You'll get there. What else are we looking at? Okay, IBM right there. Yep. Uh-oh. Len wants to take a look at American Express, AXP. Right, I'm going to hit the button, and then you take a quick look. See how long it takes you to see those 5 things. The high, the low, where was it, where is it, and where it's going. It takes me 3 to 4 seconds. That's it. 3 to 4 seconds. Here we go. Here it goes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There it is. High, low, was, is, down, up, down. See that? 3 seconds. So why am I going to say no? Okay, well, the bottom's here, the top's here. Now it's pulling back. That's it. It's actually that simple. Okay, here's your 30-day top. She pulls back up. Now she's got a new 30-day bottom right here. Now, I'll keep my eye on it and wait for 2 days to the upside. Okay, so maybe tomorrow it might go higher. Maybe Tuesday it'll go higher. If that works, then maybe I'll get in on a Wednesday. Because that would be the 3rd day to the upside after a 30-day top, 30-day bottom, 2 days to the upside. On the 3rd day, I jump in. That's where I get in. I've never in 30 years ever picked a bottom. Never bought one at the bottom. And I've never sold one at the top. Okay? Anyway. No to AXP. Sorry, Len. I don't know. Do you saw my question, but any thoughts on IPOS? IPOS, never even heard of it. IPOS. Renaissance Capital Greenwich ETF. Come on, dude. You know I don't do monthlies. February, March, May, August. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother looking at the chart. Nope. Len, you should know better. Yeah, you know me. Hey, Mark, what's happening? Khalid, how does him est look for tomorrow? How does him in a... Okay, let's take a look at hymns. I actually have some. Not looking that good now, is it? Okay, high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Looking for the new bottom. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't happy about it either. I bought it months ago when it was up here. No, wait a minute. Right here, 35. Now it's down to 27. No, I'm not happy. But here's the thing. Rule 1 is never buy something unless you plan on holding it long term. So I bought it, I'm holding it long term, and I'm getting a weekly cash flow from it. So what cash flow can I get this week? Well, we're down here now at 27. And I got it up here at 34. So the 34s are worthless. I'm not even going to bother with those. But when the stock drops, I go 3 to 4 strikes out of the money. And I see what that is. Okay, here's the money right here. So 3 to 4 strikes out, I'm picking up 48 cents a share on a $28 stock. Not quite 2%, but pretty damn close to it. Now, if I sell the 28.50, okay, I'm at risk. My risk is I bought it at 34, and if I sell the 28.50, I'm at risk of losing it at 28.50. Well, here's 28.50 right there. Okay, right here. We're down here at 27 at the moment. 28.50 is right here. Could it hit 28.50 by this Friday? Yes, it could. But guess what? That's my risk. I could go out to 29, 30. Matter of fact, let's see what those look like. Let's look further out. Okay, so 4 strikes out of the money is 28.50. And that's paying 48 cents a share, almost 2%. Well, let's go 6 strikes. 6 strikes out of the money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 29.50. Well, that's paying 27 cents per share. Not quite the 1% that I bought it at. Remember, I bought it up here at the 34 area, not even on the chart, the 34 area. So 1% would be 34 that I would like to get. But 6 strikes out is only 27. But if I go 5 strikes out, I can go 29 and still pick up my 1%. So maybe I'll do that one. So HIMS is going to be a no for this week only because, you know, she's at the new bottom fishing, looking for a new bottom. Once the bottom shows up, then I'll jump in and take a look at where it's going to go. So, Khalid, ASTS, huh? Let's take a look. ASTS. Nope. That was quick, wasn't it? Remember I said when I see a chart, 3 to 4 seconds, that's all I need. Okay, I'm looking for the high. Well, it's right there. Friday. Yep, I don't buy anything at the high. I don't even need to see anything else. So there's no sense even looking any further. Next. Sorry, dude. Giovanni, what do I think about Hewlett-Packard? Uh-oh. HPE, Hewlett-Packard. Interesting. Take a look. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. What's happening now? 21.52. The 2150s are going for 46. That's more than 2%. But then there's that pesky little question again. You know which one I'm talking about? Do I like Hewlett Packard? It's an honest question. Either I like it or I don't. Rule 1 is never buy something you don't like. Never buy something you don't want to put your hard-earned money into and hold long-term. It just doesn't make sense. Well, let's see. Does Hewlett Packard this week make sense? All right, so we got the high, the low. Look at it, down, the movement. Okay, what's happening here? Let's go in. Last 30 days, what's happened? Okay, here's our 30-day high, 30-day bottom. She shoots up. Now she's pulling back. Looks like we missed that one. That was a good play for last week. See? Bottom, 1, 2, 3 days up. Would have jumped in on Monday, taking that nice little ride. But no, we didn't. Here's the bottom, shot up. Now it's pulling back. That's what they do. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. They don't come to your house and make dinner. They don't take the dog for a walk. Stocks go up, stocks go down. That's it, that's all. Either the company's profitable or they're not. Either they're sharing their profits through dividends or they're not. They're taking all the profits and put it back into the company. You got to decide what's your journey look like? What does your investing look like? What do you want to do? What do we have next? Oh, Kelby wants to take a look at AFLAC, AFL, AFLAC. Nice, love it. Check it out. The high, low, down, boom, 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 boom. Oh, look at that. Look at that right there. That looks pretty. Let's zoom into that. Before we do, a year ago, 106, we bottomed out in August at 96.82. We topped out in November at 115. Check that out. Oh, let's go this way. Okay. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? This is the last 90 days. It's the last 3 months. What's happening? Okay. Down, up, sideways, down, up. Well, let's zoom in and look at that area right there because that looks enticing. The first. There we go. The last 30 days. Okay. The high, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up. 30-day highs at 113. 30-day low, 106. Now she went from 106, now we're at 110, almost 111. But we still have more room to roam to maybe get 1% more out of that. Well, 1% of $110 is $1.10. Well, the 111s are going for 180. That's more than 1%. But then you got those pesky questions again. Does it make sense? Do I like this company? Do I want to add this to my portfolio? Do I think this is a safe bet? Those are good questions. Let's check out the numbers. Okay, let's go to the 111s. 111, there it is right there. Here it is. Just want to do one. Okay, and here we go. Always read it out loud. Don't be in such a hurry to invest. Make sure what you're doing is correct. There's a lot of times people hit the wrong button or do something and they don't reread or proofread what it is they're doing. Okay, buy one covered call, AFLAC, 6 February 26. That's this coming Friday. The 111 call option. Well, the stock's at 111.89. All it's got to do is just stay where it is. It can even come down to 111 and I would still win. What am I winning? 212 per contract, and I'm putting up 10 grand. Now some people say, why are you putting up $10,000 to make 212? It's like, why are you buying a $500,000 property to get what, 7-8% return on your money by the end of the year? People do it all the time. They buy an asset and they rent it out. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm buying an asset and I'm renting it out on a weekly basis. Okay, if I buy it at this current price, 111.89, and then I turn around and sell it for 111. Okay, I'm walking away with a profit of 212, and if it stays above 111, come Monday, I get all my money back. So it's only a 5-day investment. It's not my intention. My intention is to hold it long term and get 1% every single week. But I'm okay getting my 1% and getting all my money back and picking something else next week. I'm okay with that. Let's find out. 212 profit, 10,800 is the investment. What does that number look like? Okay, 212's profit, you divide it by the investment, 10,888, and that comes to a grand total of 1.9%. 1.9% for 1 week. Well, think about it. If you can do a trade similar to this every week, how long does it take? Well, it doesn't take long to find the trades if you know where to look. Okay, I look at companies that are consistently profitable. I got 2 criteria when I'm picking a stock, only 2. Okay, people say I'm crazy, but no, 2 criteria. Listen closely, see if you understand the 2. Number 1, the company has to be consistently profitable for at least 2 decades. That's 20 years. Now, when I mean consistently profitable, I mean more money, more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. The dividend has to increase consecutively for 20 years, which basically means, based on historical performance, if I'm just collecting the dividend, it's going to increase every single year. But better yet, it has weekly options. So not only do I have the possibility of getting higher and higher and higher and higher dividends, I also get the ability to pick up a little bit of spare change selling covered calls. Basically, selling somebody the rights to buy something from me for the same price I just paid for it, and they're going to pay me 1.9% this week. Now, 1% a week is 50% a year. 2% a week is over 100% a year. I'm pretty much okay with 1.9. No, it's not a tip, and no, it's not advice. It's just observations. Okay, so I'm going to save this one because I like 1.9, and I like AFLAC. It's an insurance company. How can you go wrong with an insurance company? I mean, think about it. Insurance company. Here we go. Buy 1 covered call, AFLAC, 6 February. The 111 call option. Here's the profit, 212. Here's the investment, 10.888. 1.9%. So those questions again, does it make sense? Do I like this company? Do I like this company at this price? Am I willing to hold on to it? Blah, blah, blah. Those questions. Hate it when it does that. And it's not even that old. Come on. $1.9. Gotta love that one. All right. What do we have next? All right, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get back to here. Get back to there. Get back to here. Let's get comfy and answer some questions. Questions. What do we have? We got a couple of questions over here in the chat. All righty. All right. Kevin. Yeah, you did not realize. Oh, it was the Grammys. Yeah, I don't watch that stuff. James, aren't you losing in that case for the 80 per contract because you're going to lose at 111? No, not necessarily so. Because remember, when you're doing a covered call, you're buying the stock, okay, 11.89. Well, actually it says right here. All right. 110.95. That's what it says up there. Okay. In the morning, all these numbers are going to change, but the math stays the same. What am I buying it for? What am I selling? What am I collecting? And is that more than 1%? The numbers are going to change because as the market is open, they continuously change, like every 2 or 3 seconds. Can drive you nuts if you stare at it all day long. But what are the questions that we got? Buying something 189, selling at 111. You're only picking up 200 minus the 89. No. Because see, the minus the 89 is already worked into the equation. So they already deducted that from the equation. My profit is what I'm walking away with. And that's over 1.9%. Yeah, I know. I see what you're talking about, Kev. But you remember, yeah, you're welcome. But remember, they already figured that out. So if I'm buying it at 11.89 and I'm selling the 11s, they're taking the 89 off of the premium that I collect. And what's left over, that was 1.9% over that. Okay? All right, what do we have next? Here we go. Sit and chill. All right, Kelby, AFLAC, nice call. Hey, man, we can't see the setting on you behind you and think or swim. Could you please share it close? Okay, we already did that. Okay, that's what I do all the time. I just zoom in. And, hey, man, you're new here. So you do not know this, but this screen here behind me, that in and of itself is live on YouTube as we speak. So if you go to YouTube, you will see just the screen and then just hear me. You won't see me, but you'll see just the screen. That's live on YouTube right now if you want to check that out. That way you get to see it a little easier. Yeah, because you can't see very much on your phone or your iPad or whatever you're watching on. Jason, what's the Davidson stock called that you were mentioning? Harley-Davidson. Okay, that's I'm a little set back there because Davidson. Harley-Davidson, HOG. All right, let's keep moving. What else do we have? Freebird, back again. Uh-oh. Shop Hop wants to take a look at Plug. I actually have some Plug. PLUG. Plug Power. And it's a little down. Okay. Asana Pro. We will take a look at Tron in a little bit. All right? Sit tight. Okay, so Plug Power. Here's the high, the low. Where was it? Where is it? Look, it's down, up, down, sideways. So yeah, it's a little bit down from where I got it. But here's the thing. It's still paying me every single week. So regardless of what I bought it at, I may have bought it at, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in that area. But it still gives me 1 to 2% every single week. And that's what I'm looking for. See, whatever you guys are looking for, you got to figure out what's right for you. Okay? Because what's right for me may not be right for you. I like that simple, safe, predictable 1% every week. That works for me. What else we got? Yeah, so Plug is going a little bit down at the moment, so it's not going to be a yes. Basically sideways now, she's dropping. So no for Plug. Kelby, where he looked at AFLAC, I Am Legend, PayPal. PayPal doesn't have dividends, so I don't know why we're looking at that. And hell no, look at this. However, if you like PayPal, I mean really like it, I'm going to say the same thing I said 5 or 10 minutes ago. You cannot get any lower than the low of the year. Okay, yeah, PayPal does have weekly options, but they don't have dividends. So it's going to be very challenging to find out when is the right time to buy, other than when it hits the bottom and turns around. Because it's coming eventually. Always does. There's always a bottom. Always a bottom. Unless the company's going to go bankrupt. And we haven't heard any adverse news about PayPal. Okay, so PayPal, pace yourself. I Am Legend. If you really like it, wait for the bottom to show up. Okay, me personally, you have to decide for yourself. Me personally, 2 days to the upside On the third day up, that's where I will jump in at the beginning of the day. Okay. Gigi, what's going on? Oh boy. I don't know why everybody likes SoFi. Oh boy. All right, going back, checking out some of these questions. All right, now I'm not ignoring your question. So for those of you who are new here, have never been here before, okay, I'm live streaming on 9 different platforms, which means I get 7 different screens in front of me, which means I get 7 different sets of questions. So if I don't get to your question right away, I will do my best to get to every question before I sign out. Now, I'd like to look at more stocks, so you guys want me to look at stocks or you want me to answer questions? We can't have it both ways. So let's answer some questions and then we'll look at something else. What do we have? Okay, Asana wants to take a look at Tron, Tron. Tron Inc. No, I don't do monthlies. See? February, March, April, July, January. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. H94A, how would you summarize the strategy in a nutshell? Buying good quality dividend stocks just before the EX date and selling it for the same price I paid for it using a covered call. That's simplified, I think. The Lux, IBIT, IBIT. Okay, I'm going to say no to this one also because bottom fishing. But if you really like it, that bottom might just show up this week. It might be tomorrow, it might be the day after, it might be the day after. But if you really like it, keep your eye on it. Because once she finds a new bottom, they'll turn around and go back up again. Warthog, what's happening, Warthog? Thank you for that. What do we have? Uh-oh. PayPal, I am legend, PayPal. Okay, what do we got? Uh-oh, Topher, I trade options on SQQQ and TQQQ, 3x leverage on the Qs. Thoughts? Great. I wouldn't do it. But here's the thing. You and I on totally different ends of the spectrum. I'm retired, which means I don't have the luxury of being wrong. I'm going to make the assumption. I know nothing about you, and just your name doesn't give me any clues whatsoever. But if you're trading on a 3x leveraged account, well, you're a hell of a lot younger than I am, and you have a hell of a higher risk tolerance than I do. Because I don't want to be wrong, and I don't want to lose. So I don't do what you're doing, because what you're doing pays more, but also has more risk. So you remember that. More risk, more reward. Okay? So risk and reward go very well together, hand in hand. Now, I'm perfectly okay with my 1%. That's why I don't do risks. All right, what kind of questions do we have down here? Soon free. Can you do SanDisk, please? And thank you for explaining the reason why ETFs why you don't do ETFs. Makes sense. Thank you. I appreciate that. SanDisk, SNDK. Hell no. Couple of reasons. Are you ready? Reason number 1, I don't buy anything at the high of the year. Reason number 2, I don't buy stocks over $400. Sorry, however much money you think I have, I am not buying a stock for $567 a share. I can get 1 or 2% on a $50 stock or a $20 stock. Okay, I was a poor boy growing up, so I'm still a little bit uncomfortable with the amount of money I have, and it's a little bit sometimes challenging trying to comprehend it. Making more money in a week than I used to make in a month. It just it's challenging. Mason, Comcast, CMCSA. Ooh, interesting. But it's at the 30-day high. Let's zoom in, take a look closer look. What do you think? 30-day bottom's at 27. It jumped up. Now it's at 29.75. Now, granted, that's only $2, but $2 on a $27 stock is almost 10%. So she goes from here up to there. A little pullback, up, down, here, up. Yeah. Profit taking's coming. I don't buy anything at the high, even if it's a 30-day high. Oh, got to prove that I'm normal. All right, there we go. APP, Gambler University. Try, okay. I don't know if you saw my thoughts, IPOs. Okay, Len, I don't do IPOs. We talked about that before. I don't do stocks, me personally, okay? Number one, an IPO has no historical performance. So how would we know what to compare it to? That's just basically a gambler's choice. There's nothing wrong with it because you can make a lot of money with IPOs if it's a good company and if they have good marketing. Giovanni, we looked at Hewlett-Packard. Devo, I've never heard of Devo. Well, I have. We are Devo, D-E-V-O. Okay, I don't do monthlies. Who came up with Devo? Yeah, user 150, 655. Yeah, no. Big Papa Rich. What's happening, Big Papa? John Hobbs. Good evening. Matt Jens. What's your net worth? Well, that's kind of rude. Thank you kindly. Mark Hayes. How are you doing? PLTR. Mark, I am pretty sure PLTR doesn't have dividends and it's in a downturn at the moment. Say, look at it. We're looking for a new bottom with PLTR. Okay, she's dropping. Now, don't get me wrong. If you like PLTR, just wait for the bottom. It'll show up. They always do. They always show up. All right. Kelby, we did that one. Dale Fry, what is 15% annual since 2014? It's quite a bit, Dale, thank you, but you're under the misconception that I continuously increase and compounded. No, you misunderstood what I said, Dale. Okay, I make 1% a week. That helps pay my bills. So yeah, if I didn't need the money and it compounded since 2014, that would be a nice compound. Yeah, but no, it didn't work that way. I used the money to live on my own, pay my bills, enjoy my life. Bitcoin AJ, DM me to make more money. Well, bloody jolly good. Thoughts on Comcast? We looked at Comcast, didn't we? CMCSA? CSA. We did. Yeah, I'll buy it the 30-day high. Kaza, can you give me insights on Tron? Yeah, I did. My insights on Tron is I don't do monthly options. And I definitely don't do something that's less than $1. Because that, no way possible can that thing have 20 years of consistent profits. Ryan, do you ever trade high-risk securities ever? I mean, ever. Don't you have any 40,000? No. Sorry, dude. I don't have any crazy stories like that. Never been so lucky to get a 40,000% return. Sorry, Ryan. What dividend stocks do I like? Luna, you ready? Dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, dividend champions, dividend contenders, anything on Warren's list. Okay? Twisted Pasta, that's not a ticker, thank you. Ryan, this is the second time I've heard someone mention ASTS. I hear it about once a week. Yep, I already did Comcast, we already did Tron. Yep. Yeah, but Mason, you're looking at Comcast paying 4.5% annually. No, I don't do anything annually. I do weekly rates of return. And yeah, I love Comcast, just not this week. If you buy a covered call, do you still get the dividend? Ken, as long as you own the stock, you are entitled to the dividend. Check Robinhood, please. ISA. ISI. Oh, she wants to look at Hood. Sorry. HOOD. Now, I'm not quite sure if Robinhood has dividends. But here's the thing. If you like Robinhood, okay, here's the high, here's the low, down, up, down. It's actually in a downward turn right now. Wait a while. If you really like it, when it finds the bottom, then jump in. Okay? 30-day high was 30 days ago. Now she's down here. She'll stop and turn around. If you like it, buy it when she turns, if that's what you want. All right. Do you alone buy on Mondays? Most of the time. Mike, when do you buy or sell options? I don't buy options, Mike. I only sell them. Hold that thought. Ooh. Whew. All right. All right. Vincenzo, what's happening? Golfers Anonymous, good evening. Chris B, how are you? Ben Blankenship. CCI, what to do? All right, CCI. Crown Castle Incorporated, REIT. I don't do monthlies, okay? February, March, April, June, July, September, December, January. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work in my favor. Just no. Plain old no. I don't do monthlies. Sorry. Adrian. Calacious Construction. Thank you. Topher is a woman, Florida. It's going to be in the 40s. It was 23 at Disney. Yeah, you can keep that. 11-1 wants to take a look at Coca-Cola. The big KO right there at the high of the year. Okay? I don't do the high of the year for anything. Anyone or anything, I don't do the high of the year. Sorry. Larry, how are you doing? Dutch, 12. I Am Legend, we already looked at PayPal. Jose, we already looked at PLTR. Oscar, how are you? John, TikTok. Grubby, what's happening? Holy cow, I didn't think I'd actually be calling somebody else that name. That was my nickname in high school, Grubby. Yeah, I get the letter jacket, Grubby on the side. All right, Johnny Drama, what's happening? Johnny Drama, wait a minute. Johnny Drama, he was in Entourage. Mark Wahlberg directed that. Anyway. ZTLK, what's that? What stock is this? That was Coca-Cola. Blake, Dutch. When you say something gives you 1% a week, what does that mean? All right, let's see if I can explain this. 1% means 1%. Okay, hold on. All right, this current stock right now, Coca-Cola, $74.81. If I invest in Coca-Cola, $74.81. I want to make 1% off of that. So 1% off of $74.81 is about 75 cents. That's it. 1% of $74.81, rounding up, it's going to be 75 cents. That's it. It's like 1% of 100 is 1. Okay, so if I have a $100,000 account, I want $1,000 a week. If I get a $50,000 account, I want $500 a week. That's what I want. I want a 1% return on my total portfolio. So if I got $3 million, I want $30,000 every week. So it's whatever I am investing, I want 1% every week. That's what 1% a week means to me. I Am Legend, bro, B-R-O. I'm going to say no to bro because Brown and Brown Incorporated is a monthly option. I don't do monthly options. Sorry. Dutch, Can you just sell calls on it? Yes, you can. That would be called naked call selling. Merv Atkins, hello. Tacoma, JEPQ. Now, I don't like JEPQ because they're not consistently profitable. But, you know, you do what you think is right for you. But JEPQ hasn't been around for 20 years, number one. Number two, it's at the high of the year. Number three, it's a monthly option, and I do monthly options. Oh, Jake, silver up or down tomorrow? Yep. G-Play. What's with the echoes? I don't know. ASM. What is ASM? ASM. Alvino, silver, and gold. No options. Sorry. Fuentes. Matt Unger. Tacoma, JEPQ. We already looked at that one. Where did I leave off? Oh boy. All right, right there. Scott wants to take a look at Macy's. Macy's. Ouch. Ouch. 20 bucks. The 20 is going for 45. That's over 2%. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Down, sideways, up, down. That's just the basic way it's moving. So let's zoom in. What's the last 30 days look like? Well, looks like we're SOL. 30-day high 3 weeks ago. 30-day bottom was on Thursday. Friday is 1 day to the upside. What would Macy's look like if you did Macy's first thing tomorrow morning? Well, 2002, let's take a look at the 20s for Macy's. Now, Macy's is one of my favorites. They've been in business for over 100 years. So why the heck not? You can't buy the name recognition that Macy's has. Well, you could, but it'd take you an awful long time to do it. Here we go. Buy one covered call, Macy's. 6 February 26. That's this coming Friday. The $20 call option against the stock to open. Here's my profit. Here's my investment. 46, 1954. What's the rate of return for 1 week? I mean, after all, that's what we're looking for. Calculator. Profit, 46. Divided by the investment, 1954. Comes to a grand total of 2.3% for 1 week. Well, why wouldn't we want to keep this? Think about it. 2.3% from Macy's? I like Macy's. And I actually do own some Macy's. Come on. There it is. Macy's. Buy one covered call, Macy's. 6 February. The $20 call option. Okay. At the market to open. 46 to profit. 1900 is the investment. Now, we're talking about all cash accounts. We haven't even touched upon the idea of margin yet. If it was margin, look at this. 953. Well, instead of 2%, I'll be making 4% if I was on margin. All right. Did it again. 2.3%. All right, let's get out of this one. And what are we looking at next? $2.3. Next. What do we have? Ooh, Dr. Corey wants to take a look at ABBV. ABBV's a good one. ABBV. Nice. Take a look at that movement right there. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the movement. Up, down, sideways, up, down, right there. Look at it. It's going up. Highs there, down's here. Now she's moving up. 223, the 222's 5. That's almost 2% also. If you like ABBV. Well, let's take a closer look. Okay, last 30 days. Easy to see the 30-day high way up here at 238. She drops down to 210. That's a $28 decrease. That's over 10% drop. Drop 10% from 210 goes up to 228. That's 18 and 210. Not quite 10%. It's like 8%. So she drops 10%, up 8%. Now we're sitting down here, kind of going sideways. 223, 5. All right, let's take a look. Does it make sense? Do you like it? We still have more room. Bottom right here. We have all that room right there, from the high to where we are now. All that room right there. If you still like ABBV at this current price. Well, let's check it out. Calculator says, wait a minute. I knew something didn't look right. All right, one contract. Here we go. Buy one covered call, ABBV. 6 February 26th, that's the stock option that we're selling. The 222.50s. 501 is the profit, 21,000 is the investment. What's the rate of return? Profit 501 divided by 21,749, grand total of another 2.3. I like 2.3. But do you like the ABBV stock? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Do I like it? Do I want to own it? Is it something I want to buy and hold for however long I need to hold it? One covered call, ABBV. 6 February. That's this coming Friday. The 222.50. 501 is the profit, 21 is the investment. So look at it this way. Let's say hypothetically I was going to pay $21,000 for a brand new vending machine. And I put the vending machine on the the corner of 1st and 28th. Well, this week it's going to bring me in how much? $501. Well, that's a 2.3% for 1 week. Now I still own it, so I get to do it again. And then it brings in more money next week. And then it brings more money the following week. And if I'm lucky, I will keep getting a rate of return every single week. And once every 90 days, I'll get a dividend. And ABBV has a tendency to increase for at least the last 25 years. So just because it did it 25 years in a row does not mean it's going to do it for year 26 and year 27. But more than likely it will. Think about it. 25 years in a row, the dividends went up. Anyway, what do we have? Dale, I'm not misunderstanding. I'm just demonstrating how ludicrous it is. Wow. Thank you, Dale. I'm going to take that as a compliment. What else do we have over here? Okay, we already checked out Robinhood. Okay, thank you, Twisted Pasta. Utico, what she said doesn't really affect your question because his answer will be the same. Isa? Okay, we already checked Robinhood. Okay, Sater in New York City. What's your thoughts on silver? I'm holding at 95 per share on SLV. What to do? Okay, I can't give you advice on what to do with your silver. But if you do some research, you'll notice that silver is projected to go somewhere in the 300s. Supposed to. Okay, they're trying to get a squeeze out of you. So if you really believe You know, 'cause I can't tell you what to do, and I can't tell you what to believe, what not to believe. You just got to take a look at the facts. Okay? Silver is not something they mine for. Silver is a byproduct of mining for something else. Like if they're going for copper or cobalt or zinc or something like that, and they just so happen to find silver. Well, it is what it is. But I looked at the projections. They don't have enough bullion on the planet to satisfy the wants, the needs, and desires for the industrial complex that actually needs the silver in order to produce products. So yeah, they're saying silver should go up in the 300s. Should. But Dale, I'm kind of curious. If you think 1% a week is ludicrous, what's a better way of investing? Simply, safely, predictably, consistently, less than 10 minutes a day with a very high risk of success. Let me know. And then let me know after you've done 2 full years of sitting on a computer, live streaming every single trade so that everybody can see. So I'm kind of curious, Dale. What's your success rate? My thoughts on silver, we already did that. Scott, we already did Macy's. What do I think about silver? We already talked about that one. Flip, Intel, INTC. I have me some Intel. I like me Intel. Oh, wait a second. 2.03. Did we already save ABBV? Yeah, we did. ABBV, 2.3. All right. 2.3. So, Dale, I'm waiting for an answer, brother. What do you got for me? Are you doing GLD options tomorrow? No. Nope. Thank you, T. Lunda. Eric, thank you. T-Bone, good evening. Our Jelly, what's going on? DE. Dina wants to take a look at John Deere. I like John Deere. They've been in business for over 100 years. Why the hell not? I mean, think about it. Investing is not that difficult if you figure out what do you want out of your investments. It's an easy equation if you work it backwards. What is it you want out of your investments? You want to double or triple your money? Great. Find a trading strategy that will do that for you, and then do just that. Okay? Me? I've done that. I've been down that road before. I don't play that game anymore. I look for simple, safe, predictable, and consistent. Less than 10 minutes a day. I have no desire to sit in front of my computer. So if that's what your thought is, just get it out of your head, because I have no desire to do that. Okay, what else do we got? Josh, TQ. TQQQ. Okay. Well, I'm going to say no to TQ because it's at the high and it's dropping. Okay, here's the bottom. She shot up. Now she's coming back down again. Wait for the bottom if you really like it. G play. All right, hold on. I'm going to get my seat so I can sit, get comfortable, answer some of these questions. We got quite a bit. What do we have? FIGR. What the heck is that? FIGR. Figure technology. No, I don't do monthlies. We've already talked about that. CGC. All righty. What is this one? Canopy Growth Corporation. Never heard of them. And guess what? Okay, G-Play. Okay, I'm not sure about you, but this thing's at $1 last year, and it hit $1 just a couple of months ago. You can honestly say that this thing has 2 decades, 10, 20 years of increased profits, and their dividends increased consecutively for 20 years? Yeah, I didn't think so. Miguel, how are you? What stock is this? I have no idea what it is. Okay, we already looked at SanDisk. We already looked at silver. What's my thoughts on SPYI? Not consistently profitable. Dr. Corey, if I met you when I started, I would be a millionaire by now. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Thank you. Hello, do you need to have money to make money? Well, that's a silly question because it takes money to be online, so you actually have money already. Jonard, Intel. Did we look at Intel already, INTC? I remember saying I have it, INTC, but what did we come up with? Oh, yeah, all over the place. And she's got, yeah, no, because it's just all over the place. All right. So you don't do monthly dividends by monthly. Okay, flip. Not quite right. All right. So listen closely, flip. There is a difference between dividends and options. As far as I know, I'm not 100% sure if there are any companies that offer a weekly dividend. Now, I know there's companies that offer monthly dividends, quarterly dividends, biannual and annual dividends, and sometimes special dividends. But I don't know of any companies paying weekly dividends. So when I say I don't do monthlies, that means I don't do monthly options. Because a monthly option means you can trade it once a month. Because it's all there is, one per month. Okay, which means 12 to 24% by the end of the year. Well, you know, years ago that would have been fine, but nowadays I prefer weekly. Because 1 to 2% every trade is 52 to 100% per year. So there's a big difference between 12 and 24 and 50 to 100. So it all depends on what you're looking for. If you want to do monthlies, be my guest. For me, the numbers just don't work, and it's very challenging trying to figure out where a stock's going to be in 30 days. King Milt, good evening. Heats. Do you do spreads and call spreads? Yes, I do. Jeff, thank you. Chuggrug. Nokia. Is the future bright? It was bright for Nokia like 10 or 15 years ago. I just don't think they're on the ball anymore. But here's the thing. It don't look very good. Look at the chart. The chart will tell you everything you need to know. Okay? The high, the low, what's the flow? Okay? Where's the stock going? Well, right now, it's 30-day high was last Tuesday. Then we had one gap down, two gap down, makes the bottom here at 6. Now she's bouncing up. Well, there's your 1 day. That gap is going to fill, and then that gap will probably fill if you like Nokia. But before you jump on that, take a look at this. Okay? At the money, 37. Nice rate of return. One strike out of the money, barely 1%. 2 strikes, 2 cents. Not even worth it. Then it goes to 1, 1, and then 0, 0, 0. It's not always just what you're getting at this moment in time. What happens when the stock goes down and you got to sell 3, 4, 5 strikes out of the money just to have income coming in? Well, 4 strikes out of the money, you're getting a penny a share. It's not a lot, but at least it's something.
What do you think of Target, James?
Target. Ooh, dividend king. Gotta love it. And then you gotta take in consideration, when was the last earnings report? Because Target has a tendency to have those, what do you call those things again? Black swan events. Yep, we got a dividend coming up. Check this out, Mark. Okay? Dividend, 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 dividend. So the next one's coming right here. Where was it? The 21st of February. Okay, so we're here, the end of January, so we got 3 weeks to the dividend. Okay. Up, down, up. Well, she's going up now. That looks pretty good. Let's zoom into that one. Okay, so the 105s. Nice. I like the 105s. 105. There it is. All right. One contract. Here we go, Mark. Check this out. Buy one covered call target, 6 February, the 105s. The stock price right now is 104.94. So the 105 sounds good, and it's in an upward trend. 234 is the profit, 10 G's is the investment. What's that rate of return look like? Let's check it out. 234 divided by 10,266 comes to a grand total of 2.2%. Well, you got to ask yourself the question. Number one, do you like Target? Number two, is it something that you want to hold on to? Because that's the big question. Not only do I like this company, but do I want to own this company? There she is. Buy one whoops. One covered call target, 6 February, the 105 option. Okay, 234 per contract. So one contract, 234. 5 contract, it's over $1,000. 10 G's, well, that's 2.2%. If you like that. Damn it.
Thank you, sir.
No problem there, young sir. Hope you're having a good weekend.
I sure am. It's been beautiful out.
You know what? I think I went outside once this weekend. That's
Yeah,
it.
well, Florida's been a little cold, right?
I know, 40 degrees.
I'm in Colorado and it was 60 degrees today. How about that?
60?
Yeah.
Holy cow. I'd be outside in t-shirts.
Absolutely. It's beautiful.
Nope, I haven't been outside since Friday. I went out in the garage last night. I don't think that counts. I'll be out in the garage again tonight. I always go out there to just, collect my thoughts and play with my toys. Alrighty, what do we got? All right, so that's Target if you like Target. Always comes down to that question, do I like this company? Is this someplace where I feel comfortable putting my money? It's either yes or a no. It's, it is what it is. Holy cow, we got 10 minutes. Let's get some of these questions. Baidu. Baidu doesn't really have, a long-standing, what do you call that? History of paying dividends. Trinity, we did AT&T earlier. Camp Road, Lennar, we'll take a look at that next time. I want to answer questions. We're running out of time. All right. So you don't do monthlies. No, I don't do monthly options. The market's been crashing for over a week. Yes, Lemonade, I'm aware of that. Utilico, that means 50% a year. Yes, it does. BLW, what is LW? Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's over 10,000 different companies. I can't know all of them. Lamb Weston Holdings, never heard of them. B, I never heard of LW. Look at your last 30 days. Ask yourself a question. B. Okay, seriously, ask yourself a question. She's at 39, and she jumps up to 45. Okay? So 39 to 45. That's almost 46. Okay, so 39 to 46. What is that? $6? That looks more than $6, doesn't it? But that's all it is. It's just $6. But it's $6 on a $40 stock, a $39 stock, which is over 15%, give or take. So 30-day high. I don't buy anything at the 30-day high. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, what do we have down here? When do you buy or sell options? All right, number one, I don't buy options, Mike. I sell them. General Electric, Mike. Interesting. Take a look at GE. That's nice. That's almost picture perfect. Who came up with General Electric? Okay, 30 days ago, we're at 315. Shoot up to 330, drop down to 290. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 days up. We're at 306. Uh-oh. Check it out. After hours, 302. So the 302 is going for 7. That's over 2% if you like General Electric. General Electric, if you like it. All right, let's keep on answering these questions. So you don't do monthly, weekly only. Which stocks pay weekly dividends? All right. Accolades, I don't know of any stock that pays weekly dividends. Okay, when I say weekly, I mean weekly options. Not weekly dividends, there's a difference. There's the option, there's the stock, and there's the dividend. Okay, they're all different. Flip, you don't do monthly dividend, monthly, okay, whatever. All right, lemonade. Macy is okay at 12. Yeah, I love it to get back to 12. What are other two tickers on the board besides Macy's? I don't know. We'll take a look at it in a minute. Stay away from the 1st and the 28th. Lemonade, I'm not quite sure what you mean. B, have it. All right. Hunter, best ETF for passive month growth. Definitely in the wrong place, dude. I don't do that. Time to delete, dude. I haven't seen you back in a while. James, when you violate your rules, do you ever going with the collar position? Interesting. No. Target has weeklies plus is 2 days up. Sell the 106 covered call. Didn't we just say that? No, we didn't say the 106. We said the 302. Oh, wait a minute. Target. Yeah, I know that. Target was the 105s. The 105s, not the 10. Who came out with 106? Yeah. Okay. User 22554412855522. Yeah, I see what you're looking at. The 106s is not bad. I do the 105s. It's a safer trade, but hey, that's just me. You can go into the settings on TikTok to change your name. Thank you. Hey, Masterful F Millions. San. What the heck is San? S-A-N. Hell no. That was quick, wasn't it? Barco Santander. Cool. Self-made tradesman. IREN. Didn't we look at IREN last week? Interesting. It's pulling back at the moment. Santander. Yep, got that one. Flip. NVIDIA is investing $4 billion, I think. Okay. What are the companies that took interest in tonight? Okay, we'll take a look at that in a minute before we go. What type of options do you do? Weekly call options. And once in a while, we'll do cash secured puts because I like the safety factor. Okay, now you guys are looking for big money, you're in the wrong place. I'm looking for little tiny tidbit, little nibbles. Okay, I'm not like a big shark. Like I'm a little tiny minnow. I want a tiny little bite and I want to go my way. B, thank you. Deals 4 days. How are you doing? Would you buy SoFi on the dip? I wouldn't buy SoFi at all. Okay, Griffin. Now, SoFi is a heavily marketed product. Why do you think that is? Go take a look at the profitability for SoFi. Go look at how often have they increased their dividends or their profits that they share. You might be disappointed. Okay. All right. What else we have over here? Jesse, how are you? Colin, how are you? Right down here. What do we have down here? Okay, because we're done with those questions, done with those, done with those, done with these, and we're just about done for the evening. When do you buy and sell options, Monday or Friday? I do most of my buying and selling on a Monday. Okay, then on Fridays, I roll on my positions. Mike, we already looked at General Electric, great play. Hey there, I'm new here. What are you speaking about here, if let me ask? Well, what we're doing here is investing for weekly cash flow using pre-qualified dividend stocks for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. That's what we're doing here. What's a roll? Ooh, Santana. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see if I can explain it. If I buy a stock today, I sell some of the rights to buy it from me between now and this closing Friday. If I decide Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday that I want to hold on to the stock, I can buy the option back this week and push it into next week to pick up another 1 or 2%. So a roll allows me to get from my position for this week and roll it into next week. So I can get a rate of return this week, and I can parlay that into a rate of return for next week on the exact same position. It's just like a snowball, rolling it down the hill. I'm just rolling it into the next week. Is it kind of like doubling down? Not really. So extend the time. That's basically it. We're just extending the time. We're either pushing it off for another week, or we're pushing it off another week, increasing or decreasing the strike price. Because remember my goal, Santana. I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Every single day, I ask myself several questions. What did I buy? What did I sell? Where is it at now? Where does it look like it's going? And what is the safest trade that I can do so I don't lose money and I'm looking to get that 1% or add to that profitability every single week. We're at 11 o'clock right now. It's time for us to go, but I want to answer some more of these questions. What else do we have? Understood. All right, Santana, thank you. All right. Are you buy the stock outright or just doing options? Perillo, good question. I don't buy options. 80% of all options expire worthless, which means they're just worthless. Okay, so at the end of the week, it's not worth anything, worth less. So no, okay, I don't buy, I sell, I'm a seller. If 80% of all options expire worthless, I don't want to be a buyer, I want to be a seller. So if I sell something for, let's say it's $1 or $2 or $5, whatever I sell it for, at the end of the week, if it's worth nothing, then I get to buy it back at nothing, because at some point in time, I got to close the equation. What does that mean? Well, to get in and out of any position in the stock market, you have to open a trade, then you have to close a trade. So it consists of three things, okay? A buy, a sell, okay, A, B, and C can either be a profit or a loss. So buy, sell, profit or loss. Sell, buy, profit or loss. Either way, you still have to complete all three. To open a trade, you can buy it or sell it. To close a trade, you can sell it or buy it, and it's still going to be the equation. Am I winning or am I losing? One or the other. So buy, sell, you still got to close it out. Can you explain on one of your saved options you went over, worst case scenario, what would you lose that week? Okay, number one, okay, U125467, whatever your name is. First and foremost, anytime you invest, all right, you're taking your money and you're putting into something that you believe in. If you don't believe in it, don't invest in it. That's number one. Number two, you never, ever, ever lose unless you consciously decide to sell for less than you paid for it. Let me give you an example. Okay? Yeah, hold on a second, Santana. Okay. If I buy Macy's tomorrow morning at 20:02, that will forever be my entry price. Because whatever I enter at, that's my entry price, 20.02. Now the stock goes up, the stock goes down. Stock goes up, stock goes down, up, down, up, down. That's all it does. So what am I looking to do? Well, number one, I'm looking for a company that I like, I understanding, and I'm okay with putting my money in. Then I'm looking to create weekly cash flow. So the company has to have a weekly option, which is basically this week, 6 February, 13 February, next week, 20 February, 3 weeks out, 27 February, 4 weeks out, 6 March, 5 weeks out, 13 March, 6 weeks out, so on and so forth. So I always want to make sure the company has weekly options, number one. Number two, I want the options to be halfway decent, because as the stock goes up and down, I'm going to have to ride this roller coaster to find the right trade for the week. Okay, so if I'm in at 20, I never ever want to sell it for less, because that just doesn't make sense to me. If the stock goes down, I will move my strike price and pick up a little bit less than 1%, just to keep the cash flow coming in. So where you lose, and only where you lose, is when you consciously agree to sell something for less than what you paid for it. So back to the example. If I bought it at 20.02 and the stock drops down to 15, and then I sell a 15 or 17 call option, that's a conscious decision to sell an option for less than what I paid for it. That puts me at risk. But as the stock moves, I assess that risk every single day with simple questions. What did I buy? What did I sell? Where is it at? Where does it look like it's going? What should I do? They're all simple questions. And that's why we have the morning trading group. So as you are learning, you have someone who's experienced looking over your shoulders that you can ask questions to. That's why we're here, because we all want to make money off of our money. And I don't know what your goals are, but at least you know what mine are. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. Thank you for that. That was very nice. Thank you. Fan, thank you. Santana, can you show your screenshot board of contracts you bought before you go? I didn't buy anything, Santana. Okay, those are just orders that we looked at. Okay? Now, if I wanted to buy them, I would just go in and buy them. But this is what you guys wanted to look at. What do we have? We got 5 tonight. Target, ABBV, AFLAC, Harley-Davidson, and Macy's. Yep, and there's my cryptocurrency. Because I don't trust the government. I want my own money. Literally, my own money. I don't trust them. Riley, we'll look at that one tomorrow. Let's jump down here. What else do we have? Are you buy the stock outright? Okay, we got that question already. What's a good buy this week? Yep. Buy a call. I don't buy calls, Mark. Sorry. AFLAC earnings is February 4th. Does that concern you? Nope. You either like the company or you don't. Okay? What about ALB? Isn't that ALB? Abelmau. Ooh, tomorrow. So how many stocks is that exactly? I have no idea. Okay, some questions I'm just not going to read because they're a little inappropriate if you're understanding about that. Certain things are just inappropriate to ask. GEV, we'll look at it tomorrow. Anthony, what do you think about micro gold futures? Intraday, I've made quite a bit this month and only risk 1% each trade. Hey, if that's what you want to do, you do that. What time is your training daily? 9 a.m. Take a look at GEV. Why are we looking at GEV? Something I've never heard of before. GE Verona. Well, 2 things wrong with GEV, Gloria. Number one, $720 a stock per share, $720 per share. Then it's at the high of the year. Why would I want to buy something at the high of the year? That just doesn't make any sense. Do you stick with only a handful of tickers, or do you only trade the ones that are close to earnings, or are earnings only a bonus? Those are pretty good questions, Rusty. Number one, I only stick to a handful of stocks. Okay, there's over 10,816 last time I checked. 10,816 different companies. I only look at about 300. Because what I'm looking for specifically, Rusty, are companies that are consistently profitable for at least 2 decades. That's 20 years. Consistent profits. Hey, doesn't doing 70 contracts on something add up to the same as 250? Oh, you are so right. Yes, you're right. Did you give any TA on silver after the drop from 175? No. Do you buy stock during the week of earnings? Absolutely. Fuentes, thank you. Paul, good word. Thank you again. Have a great night. Yeah, I'm out here in a couple of minutes. I just want to finish up the last of these questions. AG, what about Mara? We'll take a look at it tomorrow. I just want to finish up these questions. Do you do stocks with quarterly dividends? Absolutely, as long as they're profitable. If you do quarterly dividend stocks, there's a new Aristocrat edition, ticker ES, energy source. Ooh. It's a monthly, okay? So even though they're consistently increasing for 25 years, it's a monthly option, and I don't do monthlies. It's just too hard to predict. Double Barrel Daryl, MFA. What the heck is MFA? Monthly. I don't do monthly. Sorry, Daryl. Charlie, we'll take a look at Pepsi tomorrow. Thanks for taking the time to share information with us. Duggo, all righty. What else do we got? Tell something about gold. I don't do gold and I don't do silver. What do you think about Indian markets? Unfortunately, I know absolutely nothing about the foreign markets. Nothing. Find a good quality company that you're okay with putting your money into. Sorry. They don't have the same respect for laws like the USA. Ooh, that's a harsh one. All right, Dev. What do you think about, you already did that question. Do you know poly market, prediction market? Nope. Stay away from foreign markets. Okay, Hasank. MSTR, take a look at the profits. Seriously, if you like MSTR, go in, look at the historical performance. What is the rate of increase from the dividends from the first time they started paying dividends up to now? Is it consistently increasing, or do they even have dividends? I don't think MSTR does. Nothrat, how are you today? Thanks for answering my questions. Have a good night. You too. Have a lovely day. Oscar, thank you for that, Oscar. What else do we have down here? What about Warner Brothers? Ooh, nice. Netflix recently acquired them. Cool beans. Deal's not done yet. Okay. Do you stack precious metals? No, I do not. Ooh, Charlie, Kimberly Clark. Love Kimberly Clark. And yeah, I do have some. Uh-oh. Do you ever utilize the Delta trick? No. You try explaining the Greeks to a 9-year-old. I turn 250 to 28,000 in one day. Okay, good for you. Who are you? My name and my information is right in the bio. I'm sure you'd have fun. Are you a hedge fund manager? That's a great question. RKLB, isn't that Rocket Labs? RKLB. Interesting. Now, why would I want to do Rocket Labs? They hit their 30-day high a couple of weeks ago. Look, 30-day bottom, shoots up, 30-day high, got your profit taken. Now she's coming down. You really like Rocket Labs? Wait for the turnaround, because she's going to come down, then she'll turn around and go back up. Stocks only do two things. They go up and they go down. That's it. It's Penny Mania, guys. C350, just jump, blah, 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 blah. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Okay. Watch for Fat BBB tomorrow. Okay, thank you. What do you look at that makes you so quick to decide? The chart. The chart will tell you exactly what the other buyers and sellers are doing. Think about it. All right? Just because you want to buy and you want to sell, you are not the only dancer on the dance floor. There are other people dancing to the music also. Take a look. Rocket Labs, 22,700,000. Out of that 22,700,000, how many did you buy? Did you buy enough to make that thing move? More than likely not. Okay? I can take all the money that's in my control, okay? All the money that I play with. Wouldn't even move that thing. Okay? So whatever you think, I don't really think that anybody here has the kind of money that you need in order to move the market. The market moves the way the market moves because there's so many people playing. Okay, so 22,700,000. You'll be lucky if I buy 5, 10, 15, 20, 30,000 at the most. That doesn't come close to the 22 million. Okay, so I look at what the other people are doing. Think about it. That low of the year was down here, 18 bucks. She goes up, she goes down, she goes up, she goes down. So she's coming down now. Big deal. Okay, 30 days ago. Okay, she was here, she shot up, now she's coming down. Guess what? Eventually, she'll come down to a point and then she'll turn around and go back up again because that's what they do. And if you like it, you just keep your eye on it. Look for your opening. When it's kind of like driving in a car, going into, the roundabouts. You wait and wait. When you turn and we see an opening, you jump in. And then when you're done, you jump out. It's like a merry-go-round. Round and round and round she goes. You jump on a horse. Whoever knows, You jump in, you take your ride, you jump off. All right. We're almost done with these questions. How many more do we got? NHH. Michael, take a look at tomorrow, all right? Okay. Mohammed, what about gold? Should we buy? I can't tell you. See, Mohammed, I know absolutely nothing about you. I don't give advice to anyone that I don't know personally. So if you want to get to know me, if you want to ask me questions, just go in the bio or go to the website, book a call, drop your phone number. I'll give you a call. We can chat. Humana, big gap down, opportunity. Dan, Humana. HUM. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that. Last 30 days for Humana. All right. So we're up here at 285. Big gap down. Here's the bottom. Okay. Not quite ready to turn around yet, but just keep your eye on it. Eventually that will turn around. The 195s are going for 450. That's over 4%. If you like Humana. Okay. But I got 5 simple rules. Rule 1, never buy something you don't understand. So if you don't understand Humana, don't buy them. Number 2, never sell at a loss. It just defeats the whole purpose. Number 3, what's your website? Kelby, if you go to the top left-hand corner of your screen, you're on TikTok. Go to the top left-hand corner of your screen, the website's right there. And it's called The 10MinuteTrader. All right, so I think that's everyone. Okay, so who are you streaming for? Okay. Demar Deloc. So, you streaming for? Okay. We want support and get help. I got no problem with that whatsoever. Oh, look at that. K.M. Smith, the 10-minute loser. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. I'm going to take that as a compliment. You know what they say? If you don't have enough haters, you're just not doing your job enough. So I appreciate it. You're hater number 3 for the night. So I must be doing better than last night. All right, so that being said, the Grinch pajamas. You like that? Yeah. It was a little chilly. Yep, so I wear pajamas when it gets cold. All right, so we're done with questions? All right. Thank you there, Pat. That being said, you guys will catch you again tomorrow, and we'll do this thing again tomorrow night. So, catch you guys later. Brian York, have a nice night. Vegas, check with me tomorrow. We're here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Just love, thank you. All right, guys, have a great day. You guys, see you tomorrow morning. See you guys tomorrow morning. And see you guys tomorrow morning. And see you guys tomorrow morning. You guys will see you tomorrow morning. No, wait a minute. We'll see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. And see you guys tomorrow morning. A whopping